Well, I have a standing joke when I move around and see strangers at the coffee shop or somewhere. I always go, "Merry Christmas." And it's June or July or August. They look at you like, "What are you talking about, Merry Christmas?" But that's just my way. Hi, I'm Fred Kornis, and the minister at large with Heartland International Ministries, and just want to take a couple seconds and just ponder the resurrection for a moment, and all that's involved with Easter. And whenever you think of Easter, you're like me, I've got memories in my childhood that it was, you know, bunny rabbits and eggs and dunking eggs and coloring eggs and then chocolates. And there wasn't anything really spiritual about it. Easter, I didn't get a connection between the Bible and the resurrection and Easter, but it was just all Easter. And I think that's probably pretty common today, is when we say Easter to our kids, they're thinking they're going to go out and have an egg hunt in the backyard, or, get some chocolate eggs or whatever. But we know the Bible's real clear when it talks about resurrection. And Easter historically commemorated the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, that one of the most, if not the most, historical event that's ever happened on planet Earth, that this one who predicted that if you destroy my body in 3 days, I'll raise it up again. And it's just astonishing that that could physically and literally happen. And that's what we now, as I've grown in my grace and my awareness of the God and the Bible, is that God is a God of resurrection. And the Bible said God raised Christ from the dead by his power, the power of God. And he says he will also raise us by the same power. It's overwhelming. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead, that same power is going to raise you from the dead. You and me and every person. A lot of people think when they die it's all over. A lot of people hope it is, but it's not. That's just the beginning of eternity. Some people will rise to eternal bliss. Some people will rise to eternal damnation. And so there's a lot of examples of power. I was thinking about standing behind these huge, monstrous jet airplanes, passenger jets that seat 300-400 people, and all the luggage, and those powerful engines as they roar, that just would deafen you as that power of that engine takes off. And there's power in a little nail gun. A lot of construction guys, they have air powered guns, and they can do anything, even working on tires, changing a tire, and they take those nuts and bolts off with high powered, air powered tools. They can drive nails, big 16-penny nails in, and build a house with these powerful tools. And everything, we're surrounded with a lot of power. And when you think of power, sometimes just a simple power. I've had some times in my past of having to work with my fist, and the power of a fist. And if you place it at the right place on someone's jaw, they'll just about, if not physically, leave the ground and be spread out, knocked out cold from the power of just a mere little fist. So there's power all around us. Every time we start a car, there's power. And to just think that the Bible says we're all going to experience this power, the power of the resurrection. So when we think of that early morning resurrection day, when Jesus Christ was risen from the dead, today we're just pausing and remembering that final power with all the other powers around us. If we take a moment and just consider whatever you think's powerful. what compares to the Lord who was crucified and he was buried, and 3 days later the stone was rolled away, huge stone, all the guards, they're gone, and he's risen from the dead, and he goes about showing himself alive, and then he ascends into heaven with that great promise, as you see me go, I'll come again. So he's coming again, and this month we're remembering Easter and the resurrection. And I hope that you're tasting, in the middle of all the powers of this world, the power of the government, the power of this and that, and think of the power of God that could raise someone from the dead and will raise you from the dead. Happy Easter. He's risen. He's risen, just as he said. We used to go to church and back in the day, and the pastor would say on Easter morning, he's risen. And everybody in the room would stand to their feet. He's risen indeed.